The logical operators are distinct from the comparison operators or the bitwise operators. These are for logically combining conditions. Let's take a look at an example. We'll make a working copy of working.cpp out of the Chapter 6 folder of the exercise files and paste it into our working project and open it up. First of all, to understand what a logical condition is, if I say if true, I have a logical condition that is true, and I'll just say puts true, and else puts false. And if I save this and run it, it'll say true. And if I change that true to false, then it will say false. So true and false are keywords in C++ that represent a logical state. In regular C, you can use 1 and 0. So if I say if 1, that'll be true. And if I say if 0, that'll be false. And you can have it be the result of a comparison or any kind of an operation really that returns a 0 or a not 0 value. So if I say int x equals 7 and int y equals 9, and then I can say if x is equal to y, and we would expect that to be false. All right? So that's what a logical condition is. It's really just the result of an expression that is either 0 or not 0. And for most intents and purposes, it's the result of comparisons or things like that that are either going to be true or they're going to be false. So for our purposes for testing these logical operators, we're going to use true and false. And again, this is a C++ idiom and does not work in C. And so if I say if true and true, since both of those things are true, then the logical and of them is also true. So I can run that and I get a true. And if I say if true, and so or is 2 vertical bars, one of them has to be true in order for this to be true. And so if I run that, didn't save it, I'll go ahead and say save, then it comes out as true. I'm going to delete these lines because they're giving me warnings. There we go. Now, if I say false or false, then because both of these are false, we'll get a false as our result. It says false. If I say false or true, because one of them is true, we'll get a true. Save that and run it, and we get true. And if I say false and false, that's 2 ampersands for and, then that'll be false because in order for and to be true, both sides of it have to be true. So we get false. Finally, we have the logical not operator, which is simply an exclamation point. So if I say not true, that's going to come out to be false. So I'll save that and run it, and it's false. And if I say not false, then it returns the inverse of that, which is true. And I'll save that and run it, and I get a true. So logical operators are not, which is a single exclamation point, and, which is a double ampersand, or, which is a double vertical bar. The logical operators are simple and straightforward. They operate on logical conditions, or they may be overloaded for working with classes. Operator overloading is covered later in this course. So let's delete the working file and run clean to get set up for the next lesson.